Hi everyone, I'm Kim Chamberlain, the Canal Town Stitcher, and welcome to my channel. I am really excited to be with you today. Today is Sunday, October 5th, 2025, and this is a channel primarily about cross stitch. Welcome in. I am really excited because it's been about a month or so since I filmed my last video, and today I just got back from the Barefoot Needle Art Beach Retreat in Myrtle Beach, and it was a lot of fun, and I met a lot of nice new people and got to do a lot of stitching, and so now here I am with an update video for you all. I hope everybody has had a really good month of September. The last time I filmed was right around Labor Day weekend. I think it was on Labor Day actually. So it's been about a month since I was on last, and in that time I have done a lot of stitching. I guess I can just go into a few life updates. So September was a very busy month for us. Grace started college and a new job, and that's been going really well for her, and Adam is in marching band, and I started back to work and have been really loving it and enjoying all of that time with my new class. I had a small medical procedure done, so that gave me a little bit of extra time to stitch, and so I did get some good stitching in during that time. And other than that, we're just kind of trudging along towards into the fall and into the Halloweeny things, and I need to decorate for Halloween and get all of that stuff going, and I need to finish some things, like not finish like projects per se, but like fully finish some things, because I have a lot of things that I have not finished. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with the stitching. I've stitched on so many things, so let me just pull up my Etsy, because that's where some of my pictures are for some of the cover pictures, because I don't, excuse me, if I turn on or if I buy a pattern, a PDF pattern, I don't always print the cover page. So let's see here. I'm gonna go into my purchases, and then I can pull up a few of these. All right, the first one I want to show you is called New York State Letchworth State Park. It is in New York, and this, I'm trying to show you what it's gonna look like. So this is what it's gonna look like when it's done. And I did finish the state of New York at the retreat. I just have the words left to write on it. And this is what it looks like now. This is stitched on a piece of 32 count Lugana in the color limestone. I got this piece of fabric from 123 Stitch, maybe. And I'm really proud of this one. Plus this one was a lot of fun to stitch. It was my first pattern using Markup XP, and I really enjoyed that. So I just have the words New York, and I'm actually kind of thinking maybe I won't stitch that. I mean, most people when they look at that are gonna see that it is New York State, but I don't know, maybe. All right, the next thing that I stitched on, and none of this is in order, so some of this I stitched on at the retreat, some of it I did not. This I did stitch on at the retreat. This is Tonight is Halloween. This is by Kathy Barrick. I've been stitching on this since 2022, and I got some good stitching in on this yesterday. I spent a couple of hours working on it, and This is, lose my needle, where it is now. So I got a good amount of time working on this bat wing, and let me just get it in close so you can see. It is like 4 different colors. So I love working on this, though I am gonna have this in my downstairs stash so that I can work on it. I have that other tree to do. This is being stitched on a piece of 32 count Whisper Belfast linen by Zweigert. The next one, oops, and I'm sorry for the zippers, guys. Always apologize for the zippers. I didn't work on that, or that, or that. But I did work on this. This is Luminous Fiber Arts. I worked on this yesterday. This is going to be in my Markup XP. This is called Sneaky. It is Sneaky Spooky Spells. Again, by Luminous Fiber Arts. It's going to look like this when it's done. This is being stitched on a piece of 18 count, not 18 count, I apologize, 16 count. Coffee tea dyed Ada that I dyed myself. Let me just move this off to the side. I was working on this until about 10 o'clock last night. And this is what, oh, let me put it on something. This is what it looks like now. I'm using some light here. Maybe that'll help. There we go. So this tea dyed fabric, I dyed using a tutorial from Unfinished Stitches. So this is coming out really good. Really well. I'm sorry for all of you English teachers out there. It's coming out really well. Okay, next up, I have worked on this piece. This is Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs. This is the only Blackbird I have. And I need to, hang on, I'm gonna turn on the light here. Try to see if I can do this without, slamming my camera to the floor. Just want to turn on my light. Okay. Of course, as soon as I move this, the sun starts coming back out again. All right. Let's see here. Ooh, that's bright. Let's turn that down a little bit. We don't need to be under the disco lights. We just need a little bit more light. All right. Let's see here. Go through some different color phases here. Try to see if we can find one that works a little better. Strobe lights. Yeah, none of this is making me feel any better about the lighting. I think I'm just gonna go turn on the lamp on the other side of the room. It's very interesting what they think is gonna be like really good lighting. Red, green, blue. This is like purple. I'm probably gonna cut out a lot of this out. A lot of you just waiting for me. We're always waiting for Kim. That's what we're doing. We're waiting for Kim to figure her life out here. I can't figure this out. Off. That's where it's going. It's going into the off position. I wonder what M mode is. I don't know what M mode is. Oh, it changes the way that the lights are on the thing. Oh. Anyways, I digress. Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs. I did work on this on Friday night. This is the only Blackbird I have. Away we ride till its darkest pitch to find the home of the Wicked Witch. This is where I am now. This is being stitched on a piece of 32 count natural raw linen by Witch Holt. And let me get the back. Let me put something behind it so that we don't have this light from behind it coming in and stealing all of its beauty. There it is. This is being stitched with grapevine instead of the garden gate, grapevine Weeks Dye Works, and charcoal instead of the onyx, because I could not get those colors in at the time, but I still love it and it looks fantastic. So this is coming along really, really, really well. Excited about it. I had 2 new starts at the retreat. I'll do those in a second. All right, next up. I didn't work on that. I did work on this. This is Haunted. It is also by Luminous Fiber Arts. I am currently working on this guy right here, but I do plan to stitch all of the pieces in this book. And I'm stitching this on 32 count vintage Stormy Night linen by Zweigart. Is this vintage Stormy Night or just vintage Stormy? It is vintage Stormy Night. And this is where I am so far. I am using all the called for colors on this, which I believe are all DMC. Look, are they? They are not. I'm using the DMCs. It's gonna be super cute. I'm gonna do all of them on this fabric. I think they'll all fit. Well, actually, I'm not sure about the big one. That's why I didn't start that one first, because I don't think the big one is gonna fit on this. I'm pretty sure that's why I started with the one that I started with, because I was like, I don't think that's gonna fit, because I wanted to start with the big one. All right, I did not work on that. I worked on this. I started a new Dimensions ornament kit. If you've been following me for a while, I've stitched several of these. I started this one in September, a few weeks ago, when I went to Washington, D.C. with my daughter and her boyfriend so they could see a concert. And I went as the chaperone. And I stitched this in the car mostly. I got quite a bit of it done, actually. This is where it is. And if you've never, let me put something in the back here. If you've never stitched one before, they are fun to stitch. They're really, really, really easy too. I find them to be very easy. And easy to finish too. I stitched one for each one of my nieces and my nephew. And now I'm starting to stitch them for my own children. What else is in here that I worked on? Not that. Ooh, I worked on this. This is my Halloween Quaker by Leela's Studio. Just get into the picture. Picture. It is going to look like this when it's done. When I started this, everybody was stitching this. So, don't mind the mess that you probably just saw in my bed. I won't tell anybody if you don't. Okay. This is being stitched on a piece of 32 count Belfast linen in the color Murky by Picture This Plus. This is where let me see here. It's kind of hard to show the whole thing now because it's getting to be so big, but this is where I am. And I worked on these spiders and got that done. There's a spider web in there. If you've followed my channel for a while, you know how I feel about spider webs. They're hard. They're so hard. They look so great, but they are so hard to do. The back stitching on a spider web can be so hard, especially if they don't fall on the lines, which I find that most of them don't. So that's why I think they're really hard. Next up, trying to look for things that I actually put stitches in. So this is another pattern that I bought from Etsy. This is by Soda Stitch. This is Happy Thanksgiving. And it looks like this. I did end up changing the colors, so I'll tell you what I did when I get to it. Again, we are ignoring the hot mess that is my bed, if you can see it through my iPad. Remember, I just got home and my son, Ethan, spent the weekend here helping with the other two kids, and he didn't necessarily make my bed when he was done sleeping in it. It was so nice of him. Anyways, this is where I am, and you're gonna see that I changed the color of this gnome, the blue one, to green, because I didn't feel like the blue was really representing Thanksgiving that well. I feel like it needed to be more like autumn colors. So I changed them, and I am stitching this with, I'll tell you, 471, I think. Yes, 471 is the color of the hat. And then the lines in the hat are 936, right? 936. There's another green in here, so I'm just trying to make sure that that's the one I did. Maybe it was 730. No, it's 936. So that's the darker green. I think it's gonna look really cute when it's done. All I did was just change up the blues to the greens, and there's only 2 blues in this gnome. Actually, I printed off the thing this time. So this one is gonna be green, this one's gonna be red, and then I think I'm gonna keep this one blue, but I might change this one to orange. I haven't decided yet. But I love this pattern. I think it's so cute. That was a new start in September. So I started that in September. And I've been wanting Thanksgiving stitches for a while, so I don't feel like I have enough. I have a lot of Halloween in the works. Not as many Thanksgiving though. Didn't work on that. I didn't work on anything in this bag. Nothing in here. What's in here? I did work on this. This is the other ornament that I have going right now. So I worked on this a little bit. This is the Train Also Dimensions kit. I love these kits. I've so far fully stitched 4 of them, and then I have these 2 going. And this is where I am with this. Like I said, these are so easy. I knew he was gonna wanna come back in here. I kicked him out because he was barking. And now he's at the door again. He's gonna wait. Okay. Then I started just digging in here, making sure nothing is in here that I didn't show you already. So then I had 2 new starts at the actual event. I started this one. Oh my goodness, that dog. Gather Here with Grateful Hearts by Hello from Liz Matthews. It's called Gather Here, actually. I'm stitching mine on a piece of antique white Lugana with $37.99 instead of the silk that it called for. And this is where I currently am with it. So I started at the bottom because I don't like to waste fabric, and I wanted to make sure that I was doing this right. So there's plenty of fabric to stretch it out. This is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I loved working on this so far today. This is what I have done. So for those of you that were sitting at my table and wanted to know what it looks like now, this is what it looks like. Absolutely beautiful. And then the other new start I had at the retreat was this one, which is Let's Talk Stitching by Hands On Design. I have stitched Let's Talk Winter and Let's Talk Autumn. And I purposely bought this and started it at the retreat. I'm stitching mine on 16 count charcoal Aida with all the called for DMCs. And this is where I am now. So just got a few of the crosses in, and then I started on the hoop. These I know go pretty quickly for me, so that's why I wasn't too worried about how much I got in on this. Oh my goodness, that dog. He's so upset to be on the other side of the door. He wanted out. That's all I have to say. Excuse me for a second while I go let my dog in. I'm not pausing this video. Come on. Come on. You're scratching at the door. Oh, sorry. I'm knocking right into the camera. So I'm trying to climb over here. All right. Is that all the stitching I did? I believe so. That's all the stitching I have up. Oh no, I did stitch on this. for a little while. And I might have stitched on my husband's stocking too, but I don't think so. Not recently. So I'm not going to show that. All right, this is one of my full coverage pieces. I did work on my dimensions kit for a little while, but not enough to go downstairs and grab it. So this is in my markup. So let me just go in there and pull it up. It is Heaven and Earth Designs mini Heaven and Nature Sing, and this is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I worked on this for about 3 hours, maybe. Find something to put behind this. This will work. Okay. And this is where I am now. So I got a good amount of stitching done in here and filled in all the loose little holes that I had up here. So I stitched by color on this. I don't like parking. I tried. I hated it. I'm much happier with the sprinkles down here than I was ever with parking. Just looks so much neater. And now that I'm using Markup XP, it's going a lot easier as well too. So I'm not looking at the paper pattern. All right, so what did I get from the retreat? Well, I got this, grab it. I got this pattern, and then I also ordered the kit that came with it. So this was the pattern that they gave us. It was exclusive to those of us that went to the retreat. I don't know when it will be available to everybody, but I think it's super cute. It says, I love to cross stitch, floss and fabric, surround me. Where's my needle? And so then I also got the kit. So it came with the called for fabric. I got mine in 32 count Lugana. It's called Morning Mist, and it's dyed by Barefoot Needle Art. So I got my little piece of fabric here. Super pretty marbling and all of those pretty colors. And then I also ordered all of the called for threads as well. So this was the first time I've ever ordered a fully kitted project. Normally I just use DMC, but this time I thought I'm going to just treat myself. And I did. Sometimes you just have to. All right. Then I got all kinds of little goodies. Like, everybody at the retreat is just so generous. They bring these beautiful, like, sweet table gifts for all of the people that sit around the table, and like, I can't even with some of the stuff that I got. I mean, it was just so kind. Just everybody was just so kind. I'm not going to go in and show you all of those things, but like, it's well worth signing up for a retreat. I think you just definitely get that sense of being together, and just a generous, kind spirit. And nobody there is, you know, talking about anything heavy or hard. Everybody is just stitching, and you're just sharing in something that you just love. And that brings together people that don't have the same opinions, but will put all of that aside for 3 days of stitching. And it's a wonderful, beautiful thing. I just have to say that. All right, here are some of the patterns that I got for free. So people like bring in their stuff that they're wanting to just give away. And I got some really good things. And I can't remember. I have to go back and look. But I did buy several of the beach boardwalk pieces. And so this was a freebie. And I was like, well, even if I already have this one, because I couldn't remember which ones I didn't have, then I could always just give this away if I, you know, already have it. But this is a souvenir shop. Then this one is Yuletide Delivery. This is by Plum Street Sampler. Sorry, maybe if I get it a little closer, it'll autofocus or not. Anyways, it's super cute. If Crabby, Please Return to the Beach. This is by Stitchy Pros. It's called If Crabby. I think this might have been one of the Barefoot Needle Art giveaways before. I can't remember. It's adorable. This is another Luminous Fiber Arts. This is Gathering Stitches. I obviously like Luminous Fiber Arts, so I grabbed this one. Autumn Lane Stitchery. Got 3 of their charts. To All a Good Night. This is Halloween Night. And I'm gonna stitch this. I'm not sure if all of those cobwebs are gonna join in, because we know how Kim feels about cobwebs. Stitching them. And Baba Yaga, which is super creepy, but I think it'll be a lot of fun to stitch. I'm thinking about getting Haunted for this. So I think Haunted might be a good color for this. I don't know, we'll see. And then I also got American Welcome. This is by Plum Street Samplers. This chart is beautiful. I love this chart, actually. I'm probably gonna start this. I'm gonna look through my fabrics and I'm probably going to start this. Maybe. Calls for some weeks. And depending on where they are in the pattern is how I decide whether or not I'm gonna use them. Because normally I just find that the DMC is just as good. Annabella's Pretty Leaves and Pumpkins, Please. I'm a sucker for a blackbird, so I grabbed that. Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Squirrels. This is Ink Circles. I've looked at this chart many times at the store and never bought it. Charlie, hey, find a spot and lay down. That's the dog that was just scratching at the door. I got this 31 little bag. I thought I could fill it with a lot of like my notions, scissors and things like that. This is a brand new bag. It still has the silica gel in it. Thought it was cute. Who knows? I got this fabric from a lovely lady that was giving it away. And this is, what is this? Heritage. 32 count Lugana. She said she didn't love it because it was hard to stick the needle through. She gave me this huge piece of it. And I said, I will try to use that. I'll try. I don't know. This actually might be good for, you know what this could be good for if I could get this to work? This could be Baba Yaga. I think it could be. What do you think? Maybe. It's huge. I said, well, she said, I can't get my needle through it. I said, well, I would be happy to try it. I also got this other free piece of linen. Looks like Whisper. It is 32 count. I stitch on Whisper all the time. It's hard to see it because you can see right through it. But it is either Whisper or Platinum. It's got to be one or the other. It's like very close to that color. That was on the freebie table. What else was on the freebie table? This was on the freebie table. Cross Stitch 2025 Halloween. Not all of the patterns are in here because sometimes people take some out when they put them on the freebie table, like they take out the ones that they want, but there is enough in here that I can definitely get a couple of things out of it. Like something like this. This pattern's in here. So if this ghost with the mushrooms is in here, let me see. I'm gonna look through. I will absolutely stitch that. Let me see. Ghost with the mushrooms is not in here. They must have thought that was cute too. So I don't see it in here. And I totally would have stitched. Oh, it is. It's right here. I can't show you the actual pattern, but there it is. I will absolutely stitch that. That's so adorable. I love that. Little mushroom ghost. Oh my goodness, do not start now. You're in here. Anyways, I got this. Oh. That's not the only one I got. Let's see here. There's more. Hang on. Too bad I can't ask the dog to go get it. Charlie, stop crying. All right, hang on just a second, because I don't want to edit this video, so you get to see me get up not once, but twice, because I don't want to edit. All right. Here I come. Jostling the camera this time. I also got a really nice new cup I'm excited about using. All right. Is there anything else in here? No, because I'm not going to show you all the tchotchkes, just the stuff I got off the freebie table. So I also got this Cross Stitch Halloween from 2017. I'm sure that there's some stuff I really liked in this. I really liked her. I think she's adorable. A little witch with like the frog hat. So I probably will stitch her. But lots of good things. This magazine right here, just Cross Stitch magazine from 2024. And there was one thing in here that I saw. I was like, ooh, I really like that. Let me see if I can find it. It's not the cover. It's not the cover one. I know you guys are always spending time waiting for me. One of these days, I'm gonna have all of myself together, and you're not gonna be going, Kim, get yourself together. This. Right there. So remember what I said about Thanksgiving? That's adorable. I'm gonna stitch him and whatever else I feel like stitching. So there's everything for the month of September, and I really hope that you all are doing well and that your stitchy journey is going well for you. Thank you so much for coming and sharing some time with me today. And I'm hoping that I can get a stitch with me video in. I would love to do that. I haven't done one in a year. And every time I talk about it, I'm like, I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So at some point soon, you're going to see a stitch with me video, I think. I'm pretty sure. Thank you so much for coming and sharing this time with me again. If you have any questions about any of the projects that you saw here, please feel free to reach out to me. You can follow me on Instagram at kimberly.chamberlain.14. So please go ahead and follow me there if you would like to. I only put cross stitch on my Instagram unless a picture filters through from Facebook that I forgot to say I don't want it on Instagram. But for the most part, I try to post cross stitchy stuff on Instagram and keep my Facebook account mostly for just my family photos and things like that. I don't think there's anything else that I can think of that I need to share. Again, thank you so much for coming in and stopping and spending this time with me. I hope you all have a very good stitchy month of October, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.